getting Leeming back on, so that you've got, when Dwyer's doing his run from dummy half, get Leeming going again from dummy half the next play. That's all you needed to do against you in that game, was keep going from dummy half, because it was working so well for them, because their forwards were probably winning more often than not, other than against Ignatius passing.
I thought we had capitalised quite well on having the extra man, but then Dwyer did turn the game round. I think we relaxed a little bit too much. We got sort of the 3-score lead and decided that was all right, and then Dwyer came on and changed the game. He was electric out of dummy half, and we were really poor around the markers. I think Wolf's going to be working on that this week, because we don't want that to...
Was there any nerves at any point?
Yes, definitely. I did think we were going to win, but there was definitely a sort of 5-10 minute spell when Dwyer was on fire, where I thought, bloody hell, this isn't quite what I thought we were gonna do. But then obviously we did manage to steady the ship and put the game to bed again with Tommy Mack's second try, which was well taken.
What do you reckon was the bigger factor in Leeds not winning this game? The sending off, or their frankly invisible last tackle options? I think it was the latter. I think if they'd have made the right decisions more often in that final 25 minutes, the sending off wasn't killing them in this game. It was the decision making. It was the lack of, which is a shame, because they had no halfbacks, obviously.
Well, exactly. I think it's harsh to say that they made poor decisions. They didn't have halfbacks on the field, so it's not easy to play with good halfback decision making if you don't have any halfbacks on the park. So I think clearly the fact that they didn't have good halfbacks to make those decisions impacted upon them. On the other hand, I think the fact that they were down a man definitely helped Saints to get on top. So it's difficult to say which of those two factors sort of played into Leeds losing the game in the end and Saints coming out on top, because I think both were really important. The fact that they went down a man definitely helped Saints, but the fact that they didn't have any halfbacks definitely harmed Leeds. So both were important factors in Saints coming out on top in this game. Let's put it this way, Mark: if they'd have had a full complement from the start with a couple of halfbacks on the field, and Tetevano hadn't been a prick and got himself sent off, then we might not have won this game. It would have been a very, very difficult, a very different game for us to win. But who knows? You never know what these things turn out like.
And
it
as you've kind of spelled out,
altogether.
Most frustrating game for St Helens that you've seen so far this season.
Oh, by far. I'm hoping that we're going to play better than that this weekend, but you never know.
Let's move on then to the other BBC game. Do you want to take us through what happened in that one?
I do. This was a good game as well. This was Catalan versus Wakefield Trinity. It was 26-6 at the end of the game and 8-6 at half-time. And the referee was Chris Kendall. For the winners, we do have some stats for this. Julian Bousquet made 168 metres. Gil Dudson, who I thought was really good, scored a try, 161 metres. Tom Davis, a try in 156 metres. Mike McMeekin, who's doing very well, I think, for Catalan, 1 try assist, 42 tackles and 106 metres. For the losers, Reece Lynn, who I really like, 156 metres. Joe Westerman, 49 tackles and 140 metres, going both ways. Innes Senior, 127 metres, and the pink-shorted David Fafita, 115 metres.
Yeah, rumours over the weekend that the Pink Panther's going to be joined by his twin brother. Wakefield, Andrew Fafita. So we'll see if that comes to pass.
That'll be a hell of a signing.
Yeah, unless he sort of only turns up occasionally, like like his twin has done ever since that. Up until that day at Anfield, when he hurt his ankle, I think he was looking like a real good player who might have started to attract some NRL interest again. Up until that point, I think in that 2019 season. Hit and miss since then. Anyway, fan views. Carsten, a dominant performance by Catalans with Wakefield trying to defend them, but with no real chance to win this game.
Dr. Hideous, beautiful skillful moments from both sides, but constant pressure and repeat sets in the middle of the second half put Catalan far ahead. The advertising logo on Catalan's arses looks like they've all ripped their shorts and are wearing leopard print pants. I hadn't noticed that myself.
Yeah,
but there you go.
It does really stand out. I think it's my second favourite arse sponsorship this year, though, because the iconic one on Leeds' shorts kind of looks a bit like a target for like Hopawatties, basically. A hopper bullseye.
Indeed. So, Alan Walker says, another home match, another stadium, another country, feel the rain like an English summer, too cold to break sweat or too easy.
What song is it that I've never heard of that he's quoted this week?
I'm not quite sure. Alrex is making the 9 his. Ben G looks like he's been captain since black and white telly, especially with those shirts.
Yeah.
Steve's went back to school for double half-time tea talks class, and he passed his mocks. No points in play. We fade to grey. Fade to grey is...
That's the song, yeah.
Yeah. That's... you carry on. I'll think about that.
That's the song that has the Feel the Rain Like an English Summer in it.
Fade to grey. It's a great song, actually.
EFC78JU said, 2 former Wigan players went over the line, and it was the French side who had more of the game than Wakey, as they went for the tries more, and Wakefield conceded and went past Catalans only one time, and the Dragons gone and scored 4. Hopefully there is no players fighting other than players when it's Catalan versus Wire in the quarter-final.
There you go.
What did you make of this one?
I mean, I was still sort of cooling my heels a bit after the Saints game, to be quite honest, trying to get my head straight again. Fade to Grey, by the way, is by Visage.
Yeah. So which players stood out? Do we
Tompkins.
Do we go through how great he is again?
No. No,
I think that's fair, because I think it's all we're hearing anyway at the moment. We've added our voices to it already. We don't need to go further, do we, on him?
We don't. He is playing superbly well at the moment. He hasn't played he played really well last year. I think for a lot of the season, he certainly picked up that thread this year. He looks, as I said earlier in our conversation, Mark, I think he looks like the best fullback in the league and probably the best player in the league at the moment. Which is very good news for England.
Who else stood out for you?
I thought that I thought as a whole the pack from Catalan played very well. So I thought Busquets did well. I said when I was reading the stats out, I thought Gil Dudson did well. I've watched him a couple of times now. I've never been a huge sort of Gil Dudson fan, but I think this year he's playing really well down at Catalan. I thought he was really good in this game.
It's since he turned into a seaside caricature that he has upped his game, I think.
Yeah, I think he has. Do you think he should be wearing a leopard print strongman outfit and possibly carrying some dumbbells?
I think probably more if he cuts the sleeves off one of his old Wigan tops and turns it into a vest, and then with the sort of quirky sized dumbbells. Yeah, that's what I imagine every time I see him lined up before a game. Yeah.
But there's no doubt he's playing well at the moment. The other player I thought did have a very good game, and I'm pleased to see him playing well because, again, I think he's somebody who I thought could be a world-beating second rower, and I was disappointed with how he ended his time at Castleford. Is Mike McMeekan, and I think he's starting to play well at Castleford. And he had a very good game in this match. Made a lot of meters, was very forceful with the ball, tackled really well, didn't make errors. So I thought he played well. So as a whole, I think the pack at Catalan is pretty formidable.
Yeah, McMeekan put on that nice move, didn't he? That led to the Davies try. That was probably the point in the game where we kind of knew the outcome. When that was scored just after the hour mark. Do you know Mason Leno's try that he scored? And he had the play earlier on in the game as well, didn't he? Where I thought we might have been having to have a when does the shoulder become the arm debate about that one with when he played off the ground, but they picked up that it kind of went forward as well. So, however, but it was nice play from him, that little chip over Enrique Gava, and the way he took the ball for his try, which was a really good try, Tom Johnston setting it up. Really good try, but it shows how natural a footballer I think he is, Mason Leno. Teams will go back and watch that Wigan game and see how you can get at him, but when you don't get at him, it can be really natural player. Tom Johnston a HIA for the second game in a row, and it seemed innocuous again. It didn't seem like there was anything really violent that went into it.
No.
Bit of a worry?
Yes, a bit of a worry. I mean, let's be honest, Tom Johnson, injury-wise, is a bit of a worry, full stop, because if it's not one thing, it's another. The guy is such a natural athlete, and is lovely to watch playing rugby. But it is very concerning that he spends more time off the field than he does on it.
Yes, because it means he's got more time to listen to Justin Bieber songs.
Not least.
With Max Jowett, who was back for Trinity in this game, but it didn't make too much difference. I'm really enjoying Ben Garcia this year as well for Catalans. I think Alan Walker's. I know Alan Walker only talks about the French players and likes to forget any Englishness within him, it seems like, when he's talking about this Catalan side. But Ben Garcia's really started the year well.
Yeah, I mean, Catalan looked really good last year, I thought, before the whole COVID thing blew in. It'll be interesting to see whether they're able to sustain the sorts of quality that they showed in this game over and have done for at least 40 minutes in each of the previous two games. Whether they can sustain that match after match for a whole season and put themselves into contention. Because if they do, they'll be difficult to beat.
Yep, for sure. Okay, let's move on to the last game on Saturday. Featherstone hosting Hull at the Millennium Stadium. It was 34 points to 4 to Hull FC in the first half, so game won by that point. James Child was the referee. It finished 34-14, so Featherstone won the second half 10-0. In terms of stats, we do have some for this game. Chris Satai, 6 tackle bus, 176 metres. Carlos Tumavarvi, 2 tries, 6 tackle bus, 165 metres, 3 successful offloads. Josh Griffin, 2 tries, 136 metres. And Jordan Johnston, 1 try and 42 tackles. For the losing Fev, Josh Hardcastle, 1 try and 153 metres. I'll talk a bit about Josh Hardcastle's try because I enjoyed that one. Ben Blackmore, 1 try, 154 metres, and 4 offloads. James Harrison, 41 tackles, 113 metres, and Gareth Gale, 104 metres. Do you want to start with the first of the fan views?
Yeah, Danny Horton's golden right foot says, a fluid opening 20, if not a little loose, and it continued throughout the game. Fed played well, but Hull took their chances when they came up. 1-17 were all firing in great form for the first half. The second half was meh, but it was game over by half-time. Swinton can borrow the Craig Hall voodoo doll for next week. If I could summarise this game and my comment, felt like a fever dream and maybe I'm obsessed with feet too much.
I want to know who's behind this because this is funny stuff.